Okay, a little bit about my life, I guess. I'm the baby out of nine, basically born um, 1971, April 16th. And from what I understand, what I'm told, my mother water broke before I was born. So honestly, it was a dry birth. So in some ways, I say I broke the mold. From there, I went to Newton Smith once I got into elementary school. And at Newton Smith, basically PET, PE teacher used to have us run around the field, Mr. Coach Russell. And me, I just had I don't know, I can't say it was necessarily a competitive nature, but I had a desire to always do my best, to always push myself. So in school, pretty much was like an A student, but honestly, I used to always get into fights because people who I thought were friends and so forth, I just say I was always the one that everybody loved to hate. So by me being athletic and intelligent, it was like a double whammy, you know. I know how some people they would say that they were good in math, uh, or they were good in English. I kind of said the same thing. I broke the mold. I want to be good in both of them. So in the fifth grade, Newton Smith, uh, we started playing violin, started orchestra and so forth. So played the violin, and in class we had Title Ones, Title Twos, and so forth. And I just remember that my teacher, Miss Smalls, she let me do as much as I wanted to do. So in the fifth grade, I want to say I completed like seventh grade level uh, in class. So like my brother, they shipped me across town. I used to ride the short bus to Uri Drive, and whenever I rode the bus, they had special needs people, kids, and so forth that were like mentally challenged or special ed. So I guess I learned at a young age to be compassionate and look out for other folks that needed my help because the more I know, it was like the more I needed to protect those that didn't. So I got to Erie Drive. Um, I said, still playing the violin. I was very good. I had youth orchestra, youth symphony, Shreveport Youth Symphony, and we used to always do practices and so forth. And at one point, I used to always get like third chair, second chair, something like that, because I was like always one of the best. I just remember my brother always practicing, and I used to listen to him, and he hit the wrong notes and so forth. And the thing that I did was, whenever I got to certain hard things, I just stopped playing in a sense, and then pick up where I knew I could play and so forth. So I guess in talent and skill, that kind of circumvented, uh, I guess, me being the best or perfect at everything that I did. I never tried to be perfect. Just always had a desire to be my best. So I grew up, I was always like the athlete. I could do anything, you know. Um, Played soccer, played tennis, played badminton, played ping pong, played pool, football, basketball. I was always one of the best and so forth. So it was always those guys that I guess envied me and always, I don't know, I just always had my friends, the ones that were turning on me. That, well, I thought they were friends. So my mom sat me down one day and she told me, son, there's some people that are friends and there's others that are just going to be associates. They're not, in a sense, worthy of your friendship. They're not really going to have your back. So at Newton Smith, I used to always fight a lot. Um, Coach Russell, basically, he put me in gloves. So I remember just like this guy was wanting to fight me, and I just, you know, just like went off on it. I was good. I watched Sugar Ray Leonard. Used to watch Larry Holmes and Macho Camacho. And actually, I used to watch the Olympics when Oscar De La Hoya was in the Olympics. Moses Malone, not Moses Malone, but Shane Mosley was in the Olympics, and all the different athletes and so forth. I always wanted to make it to the Olympics. That's really what I desired to do. Um, so once I got to junior high and all the issues and so forth, like I said, I used to play PE, play basketball, and like I said, one of the best. And this one guy, for some reason, he felt like whenever came around the corner, and he wanted to punch me in the mouth. Boom! So it happened that my coach was there. He saw the whole incident, quickly grabbed up the kid before I was able to retaliate because my lip was busted, it was bleeding, so forth. But I wasn't dazed or anything. I kind of learned how to fight at a young age and boxing around the neighborhood. I had the baddest hands on the Cooper Road at one point. I just remember different kids coming from all over, just different guys that are in the central, like bullies, and they come and they just want to test themselves against me. And I don't know, Charles Ray or whatever, it was like a common name, and this guy named Charles Ray and stuff. He, wanted to fight me and stuff like that, and I whipped him, his brothers, and so forth. But it wasn't something that I just like the competition, like to do what the best I could do and so forth. But I can say sports, I was like always good. Got to high school. Um, Sophomore, I made it to, well, I won regional, but got disqualified. And made it to state championship, but coach took me down there just to show me what I was going to be in for the next year. So since you made it as a sophomore, all right, you're going to be here next year. You're not going to take the shirt off again. So, like, cool. I've always had people, I guess, to step up and do the right thing by me. So I never really dealt with racism and so forth. So then after that, my boys or whatever was playing football. Said, come on, play football. So I was junior year, played cornerback, and they put me on JV because a lot of stuff, plays or whatever techniques, I didn't really understand, so I had to learn. But our JV was like undefeated, so I thought we was gonna carry that over to the boy varsity team my senior year. So a lot of the guys that on a team and stuff, I don't know. It's just like they practice hard, but get in the game, it's like they lost their heart. So the very first game of that season as a senior, I remember running down the field and kick off. I hit the guy, but my teammate hit me, hyperextended my leg, hyperextended my knee. Uh, so it kind of messed with me because my mom had never wanted me to play football because she said, you're going to get hurt. So from there, basically, that's when it registered. It's like you're destined for injury if you play football. So I was just playing, like I say, to help out the team and so forth. I was a linebacker, and Green Oaks, basically. Green Oaks was like people that I grew up with, and they were ranked in the state. And in the back of my mind, I was like, man, if I had to play with them boys, all different cats. I remember Rivero Swan. I went to Newton Smith with him. And then there was this other guy named Punchy. He was a running back. Rivero Swan was a linebacker. He played rover in a sense. They kind of, he was able to cover and, also be someone that could hit the running backs and stop them and so forth. So Captain Shreve kind of started me doing that too. So I was a rover because I had cornerback ability, like 4.3 speed, high jump. I think high school I was jumping like 6'5", getting over. My thing was consistency. Every track meet, if I jump over 6'5" one time, I always jumped over 6'5". Pole vault, if I pole vault 13.6, always pole vault to 13.6, no matter what. It was always basically me doing what I knew I could do. It wasn't necessarily competing against everybody else. It's me pulling everything together and making sure that I did what I knew that I could do. So from there, I went to Louisiana Tech, state champion, because I was state champion pole ball in '89. And from there, like I said, went to Louisiana Tech, Willie Roaf and PJ Brown, playing basketball. PJ, and to me, he had a whole career playing basketball. And we all know about Willie Roaf and the Saints, and he goes to Kansas City, Hall of Famer now so far. First time up. That's the kind of caliber of people that I was around. And like I said, as far I was a decathlete actually, because I high jump, pole vault, javelin, discus, shot put, uh, long jump, high jump. I pretty much was getting up over 7 feet in high jump. So a lot of times, we go as a team. We get at an intramural center, and we play against the football team, or we'll play against the basketball team, and so. You know, I was like, I could get like my whole wrist into the rim and stuff. Just throw it up there, I go get it. I pretty much was close to touching the top. Well, touching the top of the backboard. I remember one time in Germany, I was playing ball. I jumped up late. I hit my mouth on the rim. And that really surprised me because adrenaline, excitement, and so forth. And just learning that I could do that really was like, wow, wow. So, but I was always intelligent as well. I always pretty much got A's and B's. I pretty much would go for B's because I didn't want to stand out. I stopped wanting to stand out in a sense. I wanted to fit in. So I pretty much wouldn't do homework, but in class, I don't know. I just absorbed. I was like a sponge, especially like biology one, biology two, and thought at one point I was gonna be a doctor. Wanted to, and it was crazy because my brother, we thought he might be a doctor and stuff. So we had the competition growing up. Whenever I started playing violin, he was mad and saying, "Why are you playing violin? You can't play the viola or the cello or something." So it was crazy how inside the family we kind of competed against each other, and the envy or the jealousy. I just remember the last time we played together in the youth symphony that I made a higher chair than him. I think I was like second chair. Here he was like fifth or fourth chair or something like that behind me. So like I said, it kind of made me not necessarily want to stand out, but I always had a knack to do my best, you know. And I never thought I was really competing against anybody. It was just me doing what I knew I could do. So basketball, I used to see what I did was I used to practice with my left hand, my right, do everything, and with my right hand too. Certain things. I'm really right-handed, but I'm ambidextrous. So I started training myself, as far as with my left, doing different things and shooting with my left, jump shots and everything. So that was like an ah whenever I used to pull that out and play against people. They used to love that. That's because guys, they it take a minute, you get used to the guy's stroke or shot and so forth. But whenever they got used to the right, I switched up with the left, and I used to throw them off. I always got a foul, or always, made the shot. I was a fundamentalist because in everything that I did, like say long jump, high jump, pole vault, there was a lot of technique that we had to learn, and so in basketball, I remember this guy, the whole game, he shot backboard and he didn't miss nothing. So it kind of frustrated. We used to try to talk him into trying to shoot straight at the rim, all net, and so forth. But a lot of times it's just, you should come up awkwardly or whatever. I never learned like the foot placements and so forth. So I used to shoot with my left, and or hit backboard a lot. Because I'm going for the points.